right, everybody, it's Luna Bell. Let's go ahead and get us a reading if I can quit fidgeting with my hair. How many of y'all just, your head is so sensitive, sometimes it just drives you nuts to have your hair up. Normally, I have my hair put up in a French hairpin. Now, y'all, I had started out the previous, also my nose itches. That means you're going to get a visitor. I had started out the previous post, the part 4, and I'm noticing that today is August 14th of 26, and that it's 3:36 Central Standard Time here in Alabama. 44 on my timer, and my nose is itching. Someone's going to have a visitor. Anyhow, I had started, and I noticed that there are 4 notifications on my phone down here. There's a red 4 and 97 degrees here in Alabama. So that number 444. But I had started the previous part 4 of the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah in Enterprise, Alabama, with the intention of focusing more on the things that I have been dealing on my own self-healing journey and sharing that with people. And I started speaking about the body image, such as my teeth. People give me a hard time about my teeth. Y'all, I do have severe periodontal disease, but also it was part of the alleged RICO and humiliation ritual. Y'all, I am a survivor, a victim and a survivor of multiple unaliving attempts in this humiliation ritual. I'm also a victim survivor of so much abuse from the day I was born, like so many of us. How do we heal? And especially after, like for me, it was part of the humiliation RICO, and y'all, the people will be charged with crimes against humanity with me. It is a huge ongoing investigation. It is actually coming to its conclusion. People are just waiting any day to get arrested. Bitch, so am I. I'm waiting for that shit. Anyhow, but I'm not really. I know it's happening. I just don't know when, but I'm not holding me or me living my life anymore back. I don't need to know anymore. Well, I'm not working actively, still trying to solve my own case. Now I'm working toward living my life for me, healing me. And y'all, it was honestly, and I'm being reminded of Ayana and her descent into her own personal hell is what I call it. And that's what it was for me. My own personal descent into my own personal hell, or the dark night of the soul, or donuts if you want. That truly began the stripping away of all the masks and illusions of self, and however self identified for me. It was the wife, the mother, the sibling, the daughter, the nurse, the herbalist, whatever it was. And I was trying to see, I did bring the inner child healing cards out. And a lot of this had to do with healing a lot of that inner child within me. That one, yes. That one. You want that one? You want that one? Okay. How appropriate. 4 on the timer. The unraveling. Look at that beautiful lotus flower in the middle, and how the ring is around it. It's almost like it's on a pedestal. Y'all, it's almost like, one, I'm seeing the pedestal and the flower, the lotus. But also, if you look at it this way, it's almost like a promise ring. Circles are actually considered binding in some ritual or magic practices. Y'all, I'm noticing the cataract in my eye. And it reminds me, with this binding circle, we can bind ourselves up in these perceptions or the labels of what we give ourselves, of being the daughter or the sister or the nurse or the herbalist or the wife, the mother. What are we outside or inside of those labels? And that is where the stripping away of everything else, all the labels, the projections, deflections, even those that I created myself. In this humiliation ritual, they tried to, well, they did. They isolated me, triangulated me. They did everything they could to destroy my own state of being. Their end goal was for me to unalive myself, which I ain't done that, and I'm going to. They tried to use my looks, my teeth, my age, my body, having children, for goodness sakes. That's why in the part 4, I deliberately stood, and I'll even stand now and say, look, I had these C-sections. I had that little bikini fold right here from those C-sections. But you know what I also see? That I am a woman who carried a child in my womb. I remember the beauty, the wonder, the miracle life that I carried within my womb that made this belly, this little belly right there. It's not perfect, but it's beautifully made. Brought life forth. I had a baby in there. How beautiful is that? Why would I be embarrassed or humiliated by that? But that's what people tried to do, to make me feel bad or humiliated because I brought life into the world. I was shamed for that imperfection. I'm learning to love that imperfection because it's beautiful. Now, when I see that, I remember the smiles of my children at different ages. I think of their first cry, the first time I fed them. I remember those beautiful things. Perception, how we, y'all, that throat chakra, people trying to interfere with that, how we ourselves perceive that. So in the previous video, when I said I had to learn to beard the lion, and y'all, my spiritual team has been amazing. We're all gifted. Our psychic abilities are a natural part of us. They're given to us by our creators. Y'all, I'll put my rods up because I don't myself need them, but it helps other people to see. And sometimes I do use them when I'm talking to my guides because it's like, hold on, I want to know. It's almost like holding someone's hand. You understand? We are taught, or I was taught too much growing up, that my natural abilities, my God-given abilities that are created, made, were bad. Are they? It's how you choose to use them. So I had to embrace that part of myself and start telling myself how beautiful that is and reminding myself of the beauty that I brought into the world, my children. Sure, my body showed the effects. Duh. Hell, I even think about having surgery now, but does it mean I will? No. Does it mean I will? No, I haven't even decided. That's why in the future, what I'm deciding on is to choose that beautifully broken, that imperfectly perfect part of me as beautiful, as different. That it's a beautiful thing. How I think about it, how I change my perception of how I view it. People mock me for my teeth. Uh, ain't much I can say about periodontal disease, nor can I say much about them stealing my damn money, my inheritance. But I can tell you that I'm working on having my teeth repaired. I'm making the effort. Actually, I spoke to a company today, but it's how we view ourselves and what choice we're going to make to do with it. Are we going to do what we can to change, or whatever it is we want? If there's something that we ourselves can fix, normally it's within inside self and how we view self on the inside and how we think and perceive self to be. So let's pull another card and let's see where we're going to go. I hear a lot about the inner reflection, but they're also showing me like a mirror and mirror magic. And that's one thing I do. And I'm hearing also subliminals. Y'all, I do recommend Witch and Skype here on YouTube. She has a channel called Ritual 01, and she has some subliminals. And one of them is a self-love ritual, subliminal. I listen to it whenever I take a shower or I'm putting on makeup, anything. My self-care, my showers, my, whatever I'm doing, I listen to that out loud. It helps build my self-confidence and my self-love. But it's also helped me learn to set boundaries and value self. Because too many times we give away too much and we don't have boundaries. We're just giving, giving, giving. And we never give to self. And we got to learn to give to self, to love self first. Who's going to love us if we don't learn to love ourselves first? We're just going to be a wore out, used up sponge. I mentioned our gifts, our natural abilities. Card number 10, messages from our third eye. Listen to your spirit team. Work with them, get to know them. My spirit team, y'all, I love them and I hate them. It don't matter. I work with all of them. I work with the Creator. I work with Lucifer. I work with Yeshua. I work with Archangel Michael. I work with Anubis, Mott, so many, everything. Bitch, I will argue with them. Argue with them. Talk to them like you would anybody else. Love them. Have a conversation. Talk to them. Because I promise you, if you start talking to them, they'll talk to you. They want you to. They're here to help you. They're here because many of them, because they love you. They choose to be here. It's not just a chore they have to do. They choose to. I'm asking, is it a requirement? And they're going, yes and no, because they're learning, they're like in their own life lessons or whatever. But this is, to me, I'm hearing the words, a chore of love. They want to help. And look also how it is like that eye, the pupil, and the eye of the beholder. How do you see it? How do you see your gifts? I mentioned that growing up for me, I was taught that our natural gifts and our abilities were a bad thing, that they were of the devil. Anything but. It is through that relationship with my gifts and my Creator and my whole spirit team that has brought me to where I am now. It truly has, especially on my self-love journey, because I am completely isolated. Y'all, I can't remember the last time I hugged somebody. It's been almost 2 years, I think. For actual human touch. If you think about that. There's people all around. We interact with people all the time. But this is part of the humiliation ritual rituals and gang stalking and things of this nature. I know many of you, and bullies, many of us have been bullied or the black sheeps. I know many of you can relate. I've been bullied my entire life. 1550 on my timer there. And it's 14, card 14, and it says feel into the emotions. Notice the lion right there, the sunflower, but also the butterfly. We can notice as well the serpent, the image of the serpent. I'm being reminded of the strength card and the woman opening the jaws of the lion and looking into it. That takes a massive amount of strength to look into your insides and look into your own thought, feelings, and emotions. And look, there's a snake. You see the snake in the foreground, and then you notice the sunflower, and then you see the butterfly emerging on top. So it's like that serpent energy. You descend into that dark, or however you want to represent that serpent. Then in the middle here, you make some progress, and you're starting to see some hope, some light, that sunflower. Think about how hopeful you are in the beginning in spring and all, when the seeds that you planted start sprouting and flowering. That hope, that sense of renewal, of rebirth and regeneration. And then the butterfly. You did it. You did it. You dove into the insides of you and you embraced your true emotions. Sometimes it's not easy, but you have the strength of that lion within you to transmute it, to change it to what you want to create it to be, what you desire yourself to be, how you envision yourself. You are the creator of your own reality. You paint your own painting with your own butterfly, the beautiful colors that you want. I hope this helps. I'm wondering if I should pull any other cards. 1. I'll take the bottom. It says 16, the leap, ecstasy, bliss, and belief. Notice how it's like the swan dive, but notice how the light, she reminds me of an angel, but see how the light is coming from above. And remember how I mentioned your spirit team wants you. They want to help you. Take that leap of faith with your spirit team. I kept mentioning the number 444, 1811 on my timer. We have 4 cards. 4 is my number of solid foundations. Those 4 solid walls for like a building, or the 4 legs of a chair. Stability, a stable foundation. Give yourself a stable foundation in building you. You have the strength within you. I hope it helps, mate. Be blessed, blessed be.